Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to day 3 of our Health Information Professionals Week. And today, on day 3, we're going to be talking about the power of self advocacy. Now, before I talk about self advocacy, I thought this was a great opportunity for me to share with you what the ILHEMA board has been doing as it relates to advocacy. So we'll get to self-advocacy in a second, but I just wanted to, share just a very brief update. So every year, AHEMA holds an advocacy summit. This year, the advocacy summit was held in Washington, D.C., as usual, and it took place on March 11th and March 12th of this year. And the theme this year was about advocacy and collaboration in health information. And one of the things that I thought about when I looked at this theme was about how do we collaborate outside of health information? We always are hearing, well, no one knows who we are, no one knows what we do. And so self advocacy actually plays a huge role in that process. Before I get to that, let me just tell you a little bit about this 2 day experience. So, number one, kudos to AHEMA for doing such an amazing job at getting us prepared for this event. I have to admit, this is my second year in attendance. And last year I was nervous. This year I wasn't as nervous, but was still nervous. But one of the things that I really appreciate is that one of our longtime members, Colleen Gothos, is always has been there to help us navigate the process. But AHEMA has been doing a great job of just helping us get prepared for the day and supporting us throughout. So when we get on site, we have a full day of meetings. And even though we get CEUs for the meetings, it's really about helping us keep our pulse on the issues that impact the work that we do on a day to day basis. So this year, we started off the Advocacy Summit with a conversation about the present and future of artificial intelligence. I'm attending another conference this week that is a hot topic. It is not going away. And then we talked about advancing data for better health. This was actually a very good panel discussion. Our advocacy directors are going to do a write up for you on the 2 days, but I'm just giving you kind of like the high level because I want to use the experience of us advocating on behalf of our profession and transect that with how we need to advocate for ourselves. We talked about ICD 11 policy. So for those of you who are coders, you are like ICD 11. Yep, it could be happening, and we definitely want to be ready. We also had an amazing conversation regarding government affairs outline, ensuring data quality and patient safety related to patient identification, patient matching. And then the day kind of ended with a session on Beyond the Border. And this was about how health IT is shaping health from a global perspective. So that was the first day. Then the second day, we hit the hill. We were at Capitol Hill. And on Capitol Hill, we had an opportunity to meet with our senators for the state of Illinois. So we met with Senator Dick Durbin, we met with Senator Tammy Duckworth office, and we had an opportunity to present two initiatives. One was HR 7379, which is a Match It Act, which is about patient identification. And then the other one was really about the HR workforce, and artificial intelligence. So if you aren't seeing the theme, the trend, it's here. So why did I tell you that story? First of all, as an ILHEMA board, we should let you know, right, what's happening. Hope you all will be attending the business meeting on Friday. But I wanted to use that experience to set the stage for today's topic, your power, your voice, strategies for self-advocacy. Self-advocacy is about knowing your worth, right? But it's also being able to articulate it clearly in any professional setting. If you don't have a 30-second elevator pitch about who you are and what you do, you need to get one. I'll tell you mine. My name is Dr. Lisa L. Campbell. I am a healthcare professional, also known as the Growth Motivator, and I help individuals and organizations shed the weight that's holding them hostage. And I defined weight as the things that hold us back from getting to where we want to be in life. You see how I was able to spit that out really quickly? Well, guess what? I've had a lot of time to think about who I am, who I serve, and be able to articulate that to others. Now, when we talk about self advocacy, it's about combining assertiveness, strategic thinking, and a deep understanding of your environment. Why? So that you can present who you are in the most compelling way possible. One of the things that I've taken the opportunity to do, and I recommend that you do this as well, write down, do a data dump, a brain dump of all things related to you. No experience left behind. What does that mean? That means that anything that you've done in the past, anything that it could be 25 years ago, and you're thinking like, well, why 25 years ago? I'll use myself as an example. 1989, I started working at McDonald's, very quickly got promoted, went to Hamburger University, and was in management. My experience as a manager in a non-healthcare setting shaped me into the professional that I am today. It taught me how to work with people. It taught me how to manage processes. It taught me how to be a servant leader to others before I even knew what a servant leader was. I got that foundation. In fact, in future years, that experience was critical for jobs that I applied to because I was able to articulate the value of my experience. So, why do you need to prioritize self advocacy? It's simple. If you can advocate for you, you're more likely to advance, achieve better compensation, and have more fulfilling relationships. Your ability to advocate effectively, I think that's important, influences where you are today, but your entire career path. Self advocacy is not a one time event. It's about making sure that your contributions are recognized and your professional needs are met. Now, is this a perfect process? Is it without challenges? Absolutely. It does have challenges. Sometimes when you are advocating for yourself, you may fear that you come across too aggressive. This is something that I struggle with on a regular basis. And I've worked very hard to be aggressive and assertive, but situationally, right? I try to allow others to do what they're supposed to do. So, like if you got a job, volunteer, paid, I expect that you do your job, right? But when it comes to me, I struggle with that, but I work on it on a daily basis. You also could be concerned that there are some consequences, right? There are some consequences for standing up for yourself and overcoming these barriers will change your life. And as a work in progress, it is changing my life. When you overcome these barriers, there's a first step that you have to take. You have to be confident. You have to be confident in your value, in your rights as a professional. Today, in this 2024 HIP week, I challenge you, navigate these fears, stand up for you. You know why? You owe you. You went to school, you did all the things that you needed to do to get to where you are today. And so you have to fight. You have to put on your boxing gloves daily and say, I owe me, I choose me each and every day. Every morning, I wake up and I say, thank you for another day. But you know what? I think I'm going to add to that starting tomorrow. That's the start of my gratitude. I'm going to say, thank you for another day. I owe me, I choose me. And the reason why I start my day like that is because it's the first thing that I do and it allows me to remember it. And you know what? I just thought about something else. I'm going to start closing my day with gratitude for me. All right. So I'm not going to be long today. Actually, I'm almost wrapping up tomorrow. We have Mentoring Magic. I'm going to be joined with Angela Campbell, who has done an amazing job of helping us rebuild, if you will, advocacy efforts for ILHEMA. So your first strategy, I talked about that confidence, right? But you got to write down this story about who you are. What I did that has helped me tremendously, I started from the beginning. If you see a little picture down here on the fireplace here, that's actually a picture of me when I was. I think I have to ask my aunt. I think it was 1978. Oh, okay. So I was 5. It was 1978, and so I started there. And the reason I started there was because that's where I realized my leadership journey began. My self advocacy journey began. And so when I think about that, starting from there and then kind of like going through my life from age 5 to present, I have created this compelling story about who I am, what I've achieved, and where I aim to go. It's about connecting your personal and professional journeys with the needs and goals of your organization. When you tell your story in a compelling manner, it resonates with others, making them not only see your current value, woo, but your potential. They need to see your potential. The second thing I want to talk about is communicating with precision, but also grace. It's about choosing the right words. Whew, that's a struggle. But it's also about timing and tone and technique. 3 things: timing, tone, and technique. Effective communication in advocating for yourself means being articulate, it means being thoughtful. It's ensuring that your message is understood and appreciated. It involves active listening, responding thoughtfully, and framing your advocacy, your self advocacy, in terms that align with your values and your needs. So I'm going to be wrapping up, and I hope that you all are appreciating and enjoying our HIP week activities. We do hope to continue this every year. You know, we're not in the same facility, we're not in the same buildings, organizations, right? And so this is our week, and we want to make sure that we celebrate us, but also have some things that we can work on for the future. Self advocacy, it's a dynamic and ongoing process. It requires 3 P's. I gave you the 3 T's. Now I'm going to give you the 3 P's. It requires practice, patience, and persistence. Practice, patience, and persistence. Start small. Write down your story and then attack. Maybe advocate for a new project or a new process change at work. What's important, and I'm standing up giving this presentation, it's important that you take the first step. I encourage you today, and this recording is on our Facebook channel. And also, I don't know if you know this, but ILHEMA has a YouTube channel, ILHEMA Social. But respond and identify one thing that you're going to advocate for in the future. Embrace it as an opportunity to refine your self-advocacy skills. Well, thank you so much for joining us today in our HIP Week 2024. Remember, your voice has power, immense power. Use it wisely and watch those doors open in ways that you've never anticipated. As a board, we are here to support you in your journey. Please visit the ILHEMA website to ask questions. But the key, and I'll tell you, this is something that I've had to do personally. I've had to become comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's where the magic happens. That's where you begin to see growth. And I don't know about you, but I do not want to be left behind in the future because I failed to advocate for me, because I failed to understand where I've been and where I've headed. No experience left behind. It is time to ensure that your voice is not just heard, but that you resonate, that voice resonates, and you lead to action. Oh, hashtag ILHEMA leads the way. Thank you so much, everyone.